What's up, guys? Willie Villareal here. I'm super excited to be with y'all again. As y'all know, I like to keep it new each time I do it, so it doesn't, it's not the same old boring, keto. I don't like to bore people, especially for repeats or for new people, but still like to give everybody value, right, on a Sunday night. So real quick, my name is Willie Villareal. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I own Core Sports Health in Conroe, Texas. I specialize in hormone therapy and endocrine disorders in sports performance, sports recovery. I do a lot of outside of the box thinking as far as medicine. I use ketogenic therapy a lot with my patients, and I have before ketones came along. So full disclosure, I'm an independent promoter. And it's very important for everybody to understand that we do not ever, claim that we, use ketones to treat, diagnose, or collaborate or perform any kind of R&D. As a health professional, I can, kind of share what I've seen and pass this through legal. Can share what I've seen in my clinic personally with ketones. Before ketones, I did ketogenic diet the hard way. Okay, so for y'all to understand, I'll explain a little bit more about that. But ketogenic diet works. It always has. It's just very, very hard to initiate and very, very hard to maintain compliance. Okay, and for anybody that's done that, a strict ketogenic diet, they know that. Ketones came along and changed my practice completely. Okay, so they've really simplified my practice. They've really streamlined it, and it's been a lot easier for me to treat patients with it. So real quick, I'm just going to kind of break down what ketosis is, what ketones are for everybody, and kind of just share some of the things we've seen. That way you can, share it, So real quick, macros, right? Everybody talks about macros. We already know that ketones, what we have in our hands is a fourth macronutrient. We have proteins, fats, carbs, and now we have ketones. This is not just me saying it. It's one of the top ketogenic minds in the world, Dr. Dom D'Agostino, that has said that, okay? Dr. Dom has said the FDA sees ketones as a drug. I see them as a fourth macronutrient. So we need to stop treating them as just a little supplement. And that's why, to me, I stress the importance of using them as a staple of the diet every single day. People say, oh, when should I take them? Every day, twice a day. We have some of the top minds in the world, such as like Dr. Ken Ford. Dr. Ken Ford has proclaimed that he's using them specifically just prophylactically, just in case for brain cognition, for cognitive health, okay? So just so y'all understand, guys, there's this what we have in our hands goes way, way, way beyond weight loss, body recomposition, things like that. The overwhelming majority of the research being done now is not even being done in the body recomposition, okay? It's being done on the cognitive resilience, cognitive health, okay? So real quick, what are ketones? What is ketosis, okay? This has really, really been complicated by so many people, so many of the dietary experts, all the internet experts, all the nutritionists, all the doctorates in nutrition and exercise physiology. They're complicating it, and it's blowing their minds. They can't understand what ketosis is. Simply one thing, guys. It's elevated blood ketone levels. Period. That's it. Okay, so when they try to complicate the issue and was it dietary ketosis? It can't be dietary ketosis. This week has been really, really, I don't want to say stressful, but I've had a lot of people have had to answer a lot of questions this week about experts really coming down on the ketones, and they just can't wrap their head around what it is. So ketosis is simply elevated blood ketone levels. The benefits that you get from a ketogenic diet is when you elevate those blood ketone levels, okay? So when now we have just a faster way. We have a drinkable ketone that actually works, okay? And we can prove it by blood stick, which is why one of the reasons our company's called Prove It is, we can prove it. So basically, ketosis is elevated blood ketone levels, and the benefits you'll see from ketosis are from the elevated blood ketone levels. So what are ketones? Ketones are our native fuel source. Our body only runs on two fuel sources, glucose or ketones, okay? 90% of the population plus, I would say plus, is running on sugar, is running on on glucose. Why? Because there's added sugar in every single bit of food in America that you can find. We're from fast food to boxed food to processed food. Even people, that's why you hear people so many times that they're following a ketogenic diet or they're starting to limit their sugars, still have a hard time because there's a lot of hidden sugars, okay? There's a lot of hidden sugars and a lot of things. So I really want to transition everybody into being a fat burner or burning ketones, okay? So again, our body runs on two fuel sources, glucose or ketones. Ketones is what is the main ingredient in our product. It's BHB. It's beta hydroxybutyrate. You don't have to remember that. Just know that they're ketones. Okay, BHB is the most prominent and most efficient ketone that our body produces in the diet. This is my most important, probably my most important point that I want y'all to understand and use as ammo whenever people ask you, okay? Prove it's still the only ketone that is the exact same DR isomer that the body makes endogenously through the diet. Okay, that's what makes it different. Everybody else has a cheaper blend, and if you read the ingredients, it's called Go BHB. It's a cheap isomer. It's a cheap blend of BHB that you, I, Abby, anybody, we could pull our money together, go to the lab, buy it, Go BHB from the lab, and make our own ketone and stamp it. There are a lot of other companies coming on the market just because it's so hot and stamping keto on something just to buy it, just so people buy it. And people are buying it just because they don't understand. The other thing that we need to be careful of is that ours is so optimized, our ketones are so optimized that we require less BHB to elicit an effect, to actually raise your blood ketone levels. Why is that important? Because the other ones boast that they have more. They have more. I've had people this week tell me, well, this one has more. Why is yours better? More is not better in this case, guys. They'll say, oh, this has 11 grams of BHB or this has 12 grams. Well, guess what? That's actually dangerous. And that's actually been shown by a cardiologist, because what it is they're having to have higher levels of ketone salts, higher levels of magnesium, calcium, potassium salts to elicit an effect. Okay, so they're having elevated salt levels, elevated minerals levels in their, and it's actually dangerous. So they're having to use more to elicit an effect compared to ours. Okay, so just real quick, how did we get here before? Okay, before, okay, it was very, very hard. Just like I told you with the diet, you could either do a fast, which I recommend intermittent fasting. That's a whole other subject. You know, I generally tell patients don't eat after 8 p.m. Okay, and if you do, make it fat, and don't eat your first meal until about 11 to 12, 11 to 1 p.m. Okay, the majority of people that do the ketones do this. A lot of us will drink our keto cream in the morning, have ketones, and then have our first meal about 12, 1 or 2. Okay, so before, the only way to get into ketosis was through starvation or fast, or a strict ketogenic diet, which is a high fat, moderate protein, low carb. Okay. Now we actually have drinkable ketones. I can give my patients ketones and show them, I can put them in ketosis in 30 minutes. Okay. And again, it's semantics. People will argue with you, and they argued with me this week a lot, experts saying, well, you can't say that's nutritional ketosis. Ketosis is ketosis, guys. How is it not nutritional ketosis if you're putting it in if you're drinking it, if you're actually ingesting BHB? Okay, you keep doing it the hard way. That's what I tell people. You do it the hard way, I'll do it the easy way, and I'll still have higher blood ketone levels and be deeper in ketosis than you. I mean, it's their choice. And the thing is, science is not on their side. Okay. Just this past month, March 2018, a joint study with University of Oxford and University of British Columbia showed, they did it on ketone supplements, okay, ketone supplements. They showed where they had an elevated and sustained blood ketone level of BHB, okay, and they lowered their glucose and lowered their insulin, okay. That is with a ketone supplement. So more and more of these studies are coming out, and again, science is not on their side, okay. So don't let them bog you down with they don't, a lot of times they don't understand. Okay. So again, what's exogenous versus endogenous. You keep hearing me say that, right? Exogenous is what we're drinking, is ketones outside the body. Endogenous is what you have to make your body make through the diet. They're the exact same thing, whether you're drinking them or you're having your body make them. Okay. So what is a benefit? I specifically work with a lot of athletes, right? So I have seen the athletic performance benefits over the past 3 years, from my ultra endurance runners to my triathletes to my, I'm actually having dinner on Wednesday with Dickie Taylor, the captain of the team that we sponsored. So hopefully, we're still trying to nail down the specifics, but they will be at Keto Academy, I believe, the team. He is the captain of the 4 Oarsmen. You can look him up at the4oarsmen.com. What they did is all 4 of them went ketogenic. We helped formulate their fueling strategy, and I sponsored them, and they took our ketones 3 times a day on their trip. So what they did is they rowed across the Atlantic. It was called the Talisker Whiskey Challenge from December 13th to January, I believe, 14th. And what they did is they not only won the race, but they broke the record, the transatlantic record. So it's a huge feat, that they accomplished, and it was specifically being ketogenic. So we've seen the trend of keto adaptation through diet. Okay, it's a very hard process. There's a lot of, again, studies on that. There's a very, very famous, robust 20-month study called the FASTER study by Dr. Jeff Volek that y'all can look up. But again, science is not on their side. Okay, so whether it's, your average person that just wants to feel better or your elite athlete, the ketones work on both. Okay, and we've seen them work on both. On my metabolically challenged patients, I've actually seen them drop their A1Cs. Okay, I've seen them, and I have all this, documented with blood work. I've seen their body compositions change with DEXA scan. This is not just making claims. We have it all documented. So so this is why, if you understand, guys, like I told you, I was skeptical at first, okay, 3 years ago. I want you to be skeptical. I want you to try it out yourself. I was one of the first that said, you can't drink ketones. You have to make your body make them, okay, until you drink them. Everything changes when somebody actually drinks them and actually does a blood stick. Okay, it's important to make to make that point, because everybody says, well, I tested my urine ketone levels, and you may spill some ketones, you may not. Understand this, guys, that they're very inaccurate, so don't go by urine ketone strips. Okay. After about a month of doing ketogenic diet and ketones, you may show low to no ketosis when you're actually in ketosis. Why? Because keto strips actually measure a different ketone, an excretory one called acetoacetate. Okay, that's a totally different one. The only way to check your blood ketone levels, your BHB levels, is through a blood stick. Okay, those actually test for BHB. So you can't cheat the blood. You can't cheat serum. Okay, so in other words, when you drink your ketones, they show up in your blood serum about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. Now, I'm not telling everybody to go out and get blood stick monitors and so, but if that's what it takes to prove it to some people, that's what it may take with some people. Okay. But just take it from me. I've seen it over 3 years with 300 plus patients, 10 of my patients over 100-pound loss, 100-pound weight loss. Okay. And growing. I mean, countless others that are 50 pounds, 30 pounds, and again, that's just the weight loss ones. Those aren't even my patients that have had improvements in anxiety. Okay. Improvements in their overall blood sugar control, in their PTSD. I mean, I work with a lot of PTSD patients. So I've been able to get many of them off Adderall and Vyvanse. Okay. Again, I can do this as a healthcare practitioner, but I'm just, I'm just letting y'all know what I've seen in the clinic. Okay. Now, what are my top 3 recommendations? Okay. Number one, hydrate. Okay. Most people, as much as they say they're drinking water, they're not. They're not. And even if they are, hydration is a lot more than just drinking water. Okay. You have to have the electrolytes in your cells to hold on to the water. Otherwise, you're just like a sieve. You're just spilling water out. Okay. Number two, and how to do that? Easy way, bone broth. You know, bone broth is a very easy way. Another one is, believe it or not, a bouillon cube, beef bouillon cube, or a chicken bouillon cube, or even Himalayan pink sea salt in your water. Very easy. Okay. Number two, start them slow. Okay. I do that. I would love to slam just because I love the feeling of, I would love to start everybody on a full pack, always. But I always stress, start them on half. Okay. The best way to do that is make a shaker bottle, full shaker bottle with 12 to 16 ounces, and pour it out. Pour 6 ounces out, drink it in the morning, and then drink the other 6 ounces out in the afternoon. Why? Because as soon as your bacteria in your mouth starts touching those, you put it back in the fridge, that's when it'll start to break down those ketones. Okay, so the easiest way is to shake it up, pour 6 ounces out, and then drink the other 6 ounces in the afternoon. Okay, and that's just a taste. I mean, some people do 16, some people do 12, some people do 10. Everybody's a little bit different. And then this is what I got from Dr. Heather. I've always used this ever since with patients. They say, when should I take it? So 30 minutes. 30 minutes before you're hangry, hungry, tired, going to need to be productive, going to need to be your best, period. So 30 minutes, 45 minutes before you're going to need a workout, before you're going to have to be home with the kids, before you're going to need energy to go home and cook or do whatever you need to do. My wife always used to take it in the afternoon only. Now she won't go a day without taking it twice a day. My kids won't go a day without taking. They go out of town. They went to the ranch this weekend. The first thing she packed was her ketones. My daughter packed her ketones first. So real quick, let me just break these down so people understand what our products are, okay? The very first product we ever had was the Ketones, the Orange Stream. This is still actually my favorite. I still drink this at least once a day. This one has MCTs, which is very, very good for brain cognition and brain fuel, okay? Next came 3.0. 3.0, they took the MCTs out, which tended, not always, but tended to hurt some people that weren't ready for a high-fat diet. They weren't ready to have fat in their diet yet. That's why I said, if you're going to start them slow, if you're starting with this, start them very, very slow. Starting with half a pack, starting with half a scoop or half a pack. This, they took the MCTs out and put a shorter chain fatty acid in it called butyrate. Butyrate is very, very, very good for gut health, okay, along with the inulin, which is chicory root. Any of my patients that have any kind of GI issues, whether it's IBS, Crohn's, or UC, ulcerative colitis, anything like that, I start with this. I use this. I recommend this. A lot of times it's a taste issue for some people, but if they can, I recommend this one. This one, I still put a little bit of it in my post-workout because of the branched-chain amino acids in it. Very, very high-quality branched-chain amino acids. Okay. Now we have all of the maxes, and I love that we have a splash full-time now because we changed our smart ship to that. But basically, any of the maxes, they took all of the fat out, and they have they're basically 40% more bioavailable, so they hit you quicker and last longer. Okay. I recommend these right before any kind of sports performance, especially this one if you can get your hands on it from time to time. We try to stock up when we can. If this comes out, guys, and y'all are athletically inclined or going to go work out, going to run, get the Amped, okay? I took this, and I'm not a runner, and I went and ran a 10K. And I'm telling you, I don't usually run unless somebody's chasing me. So now I run a lot, actually. But this really, really helps me in performance. I use these a lot in competition day for my CrossFit competitions. There's countless flavors now. If y'all haven't tried this one, it's pretty awesome. That one is the Envy. That one's the Thin Mint, the mint chocolate. That one's really good too. Again, it's just a taste preference for a lot of people. So more and more so, I do have some Purple Rain somewhere, but I think my wife's hiding it from me because we're running low. Again, now we have the keto cream. The keto cream, and I don't know if anybody's tasted the new Keto Man. It's hazelnut. It's awesome. But still, this is a mainstay every morning for us. Anywhere time we go out of town, we start our morning off with this. This is also very good in tea. If you drink tea, it makes like a really good, almost like a chai latte, but it's really, really good. This is actually also a very good snack for the kids in the afternoon. Okay. Instead of giving them a sugary snack, you can put this in some almond and coconut milk and they'll drink this, and it's really, really good. It gives them very healthy fats. So in the keto cream, basically, understand this, guys, this does not have ketones in it. All the other ones do. This has MCTs, which is C8, C10, and C12. They have all three different forms. Also have collagen protein and AC11. Pretty much all of the new products have AC11, which AC11 in its simplest terms is DNA repair. I won't dive into the basics of it. I would highly recommend you get Hacked. One of the best magazines one of the best tools that I use with anybody is the Hack magazine. So I'll order it, and I'll usually, one of the little keys I'll put in pages that I think that they'll be interested in. I will put a ketone in there. So the other one that I'm really excited about is the Keto Calm. That one I drink every night, and I'm running low, so I hope they start coming out again so we can get them. But I drink this every night right before we're going to bed. So what I love and what I'm excited about is that this year, I mean, the products that we're coming out with are going to be an all-encompassing product, take care of the body as a whole. Okay, they'll be able to help ketogenic support, not just ketones. Ketones themselves are the foundation, okay? But all these, like this one has 5-HTP and L-theanine, which will really help to calm you down at night. Guys, every single one of y'all either has problem with sleep or knows somebody that does. Every single one. Every single one knows somebody with back pain. Everybody knows somebody with low energy. So this needs to, this is why I'm so passionate about it, because I've seen so many lives changed. A lot of us in medicine, we got into medicine because we wanted to help people. And then once we get into medicine, we see that we're helping very, very few people. We're just basically doing Band-Aid medicine. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're taking care of symptoms. We spend 5, 10, 15 minutes with a patient, and we write them a script and, throw it at them, and basically, refill it every 90 days. They come in every 90 days. We do the same thing. Hey, how have you been? Great. Oh, you still have depression? Yeah, here, let me rewrite you your Lexapro. No, that we need to start getting patients off meds, okay? And at least having that conversation, okay? So I urge people to have that conversation with their healthcare practitioners. If you don't have somebody that's savvy with diet and nutrition, and most aren't because they don't teach it in med school, if a primary care or a physician doesn't take a personal interest in nutrition, they're going to be lacking in that knowledge. Okay, ketones are here to stay, and so is ketosis, and so is the ketogenic diet. That's why I went to Barnes & Noble this week, and there's a whole section that wasn't there 6 months ago. There's a whole section on ketogenic diet, on ketones, keto. This is the easier way. Do I want people to shift to a keto lifestyle? Absolutely, absolutely. This is the best tool to do it. And understand this, guys, I'm very careful to explain to people, this is not a magic bullet or magic tool. Okay, just a magic bullet. It's a tool. It's the most important, the best tool that I've ever seen to basically transition people into a ketogenic lifestyle. So for all those people that are just very, very dug in and just anti and saying, oh, you can't just be saying this, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying it's the magic pill. We're not saying it, but it is the most important tool that I've ever seen medically, physically, performance-wise, sports performance-wise, that has changed the game. I will put it on par up there with protein powders. It is going to be a mainstream. It is already starting to be mainstream, as you can tell. Everybody's jumping on board. There's a lot of other multi-level marketing companies that are adding it to their line. Okay. But just understand that it's here to stay, and we'll be talking about ketosis and ketones for the next 20 plus years. Okay. So basically with that, I just understand that The reason that I've partnered myself with Prove It is one main reason is because they're focused on education and on truly improving people's lives and forwarding the keto conversation, not just about selling you a product. I could care less about selling somebody a product. I'm not telling people to do this, and this is more of a Prover 101 deal, but I sometimes feel so passionate about it when I say somebody with severe MS or just severe issues come in that I give it to them. I want them to have it so bad that I will give it to them sometimes. Now, obviously, there's other, some people have other issues. They'll say, "Hey, put a value on it." Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I'm very understand that to me, it makes such a difference in my patients' lives that I want everybody on them, because it's not just about addressing one issue or improving your performance or doing it. It's about taking care of the body as a whole. Okay, so lots and lots of resources, guys. I'll try to cut it short. I could talk and talk and talk, and Abby knows that, and Celine knows that. I could, and I'm very squirrel, so a lot of times I'll kind of, but understand that, we do have a lot of resources. The Facebook page, if you haven't, go to the Prove It Facebook page. Also, try to get to Keto Academy, guys. I say this every single time. At Keto Academy and more, you will gain a wealth of knowledge and get all the belief that you need at any of these events. The help center is always available. These Zoom 101s, we're always having them, the Prover 101s. But anybody, again, we are very open and transparent. The info is there. Okay. If people choose to see it or not see it, that's on them, but the info is there. Ketones are here to stay, and I hope everybody drinks them every day, twice a day. Okay. Drink them as much as you can afford them. What's the joke in the company's based on how many ketones can I drink? As much as you can afford. Okay. So drink them every day, twice a day, guys. Drink ketones, just be awesome. All right. Any questions or anything real quick? I don't know if we have time for questions, but I'll let Abby take over now.